another exciting episode of Perpetually Ajar. I am one of your hosts, Katy Johnson, aka Weiss, Penny Pelladonut, Cinderfall, and Velvet the Chocolate Rabbit. One day I'm actually going to say Penny's last name right, but we're not there yet. And I'm also a writer for KRWBY Productions, and all those roles that I listed, I play in RWBY Abridged and all KRWBY Productions products and whatnot. Products? Are we even a business? I don't know. Hooray! But yeah, we're doing another episode, and thank you guys so much for supporting us on this journey. It's been so fun. And would my co-host love to introduce themselves? I know you would, because you're so great.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to introduce myself this time.
Well, I mean, I did try to steal it from you last time.
You did. You tried to say
Winter
that you
Schnee.
voiced Winter. Anyways, what's up, guys? My name's Beau. I voice Winter and Ilya for KRWBY Productions / RWBY Bridge / the VR Shorts. I am the lead director / head of the VR Short department now, as well as one of the lead writers for that. And I am also one of your co-hosts for this lovely podcast that we've now been doing for nine episodes.
Dang, we're getting there. I don't know where there is, but we're getting there.
I don't know where it is, but we're going.
We're going. We're just going to keep going till we see the light at the end of the tunnel. And we have a special guest here with us, and we let them right through the front door this time. There's no more sneaking. Early episodes, we had to sneak them on, and Beau couldn't hear them come in. But this time, our guest has made a beautiful appearance. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm Annika. I go by Neo on the server because my username is actually Neoka. What do I say about myself? I am the HR. I make up the entire HR department for KRWBY Productions, and that's just really fancy term that means that I make sure everybody gets along. I make sure they play nice. I make sure they're fed, they're watered, and everybody's happy. I'm also thinking of taking up an editorial role on some of the future projects coming up. So we'll see where that goes. It's really exciting to be here, and I am one of Katy and Beau's biggest fans, so I'm super happy to be here.
Oh, heck.
You also were a huge contributor to the Nondescript Winter Holiday 2 script.
I did that.
You're one of our lead editors for that.
Yeah, Annika is a wonderful script editor, and it was really awesome getting to have her come in because she really knows how to get down to some of the nitty gritty stuff when you get all the creative concept stuff out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope to do that more now that I know how to do it now.
Mm-hmm. Also, she's just a banger video editor too. I've seen what you've done. You helped me put my indie reel together. You're really talented, girl, and I'm gonna buy you a coffee at Anime Los Angeles.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to see you there!
I'm so excited. All these awesome things are happening.
I actually just realized last night we're gonna have the entire pre-production team for Nondescript Winter Holiday at Anime Los Angeles.
Oh, we can all sign the script or something.
Exactly. At least my copy. I'm gonna have a copy.
Oh, that's so great. There's so much exciting stuff happening, everybody. Please just keep listening, and it's going to be really good.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get into the main sauce of the episode, I just want to know how is everybody doing? What's going on in life? What interactive activities have you been doing or gaming or whatever? Because I have no life. I measure my life through the games that I'm playing and the podcast I'm listening to.
Man, that's a mood. That is an absolute mood. I'm currently visiting my dad in Las Vegas, actually. Well, kind of visiting, more so just house sitting for him because
nice.
Yeah, he has my doggo, Oscar, my wiener dog, my little baby, and he can't stay home alone by himself when my dad goes out of town, obviously.
Of course.
My dad was like, it's been a while since you came out and visited. Why don't you come out and chill? And originally I was supposed to only stay last weekend and then come home during the week. This week, right now it's the 21st, the day that we're recording. And then I was supposed to come back today.
Yeah.
and then stay through the weekend. But I just decided, you know what? I haven't gotten to see my dad for a very long time. The longest I've ever gone without seeing him in my life.
Yeah.
So I figured, you know what, I'm going to just stay through the week, hang out with him, because I'm not going to be able to actually be here for the day of Thanksgiving. So I decided, we're gonna hang out, and then I got to rush back home on Monday to prepare to start filming Nondescript Winter Holiday, and then come back Friday to stay another weekend. But
yeah, because
yeah.
all the listeners don't know this, but we're recording this very early because we're going balls to the walls on this winter short. So we're making sure this podcast is recorded in plenty of time so that all of our people can be on that winter short.
Oh yeah. It's a all hands on deck kind of short.
Yeah, this is like 2 weeks early. So everyone listening, who knows what will be happening in the future? We don't. We're talking from 2 weeks in the past. Woo!
Yeah. This is the
what about you,
quickest
Annika?
we've ever recorded an episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm actually visiting in-laws for the holidays, or in-laws to be. So I'm visiting my fiance's family. And yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Beau because everybody works. So I'm actually like house sitting, and I've got 2 little Shih Tzus that are running amok around the house that I'm just kind of making sure they keep out of trouble. But they're good doggos, so I've got really nothing to worry about. But yeah, in terms of like gaming and stuff, I'm all super excited for like Jedi Fallen Order. And Disney Plus just launched, so I'm super excited about that. I finally got my subscription like just this morning, so I'm waiting for people to get back so I can finally watch stuff on Disney Plus because I'm super excited for the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda and everybody. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, by the way.
Baby Yoda. I don't know who they are, but they're so valid, and I would die for them.
I love the memes of Baby Yoda. They're so great. Oh my
yes,
gosh.
murder.
I know that a lot of stuff's coming out for the Switch too, but a lot of it's not till 2020. But like low key, I'm tempted to buy a Switch just to play Animal Crossing. But my boyfriend has a Switch, so I could just buy Animal Crossing.
You know what game? If you're gonna play games on the Switch, Katy, I think you would really love Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like, you don't have to have played any of the previous games. Like, honestly, all of the games are pretty standalone, and it's got probably at least probably 200 hours of playtime just to play through each of the storylines individually, because there's 4 different campaigns that you can play.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
like
one game
really
I've wanted to one game I've wanted to get into, and I don't know, I could probably find it for PC, but like if I could play it on one of my boyfriend's console the way it's intended to, that'd be great. Final Fantasy IX, I really want to play that because I hear that one's really good. Like, because I've never in my life played a single Final Fantasy game, and I've obviously heard that Final Fantasy VII is like the epitome of like Final Fantasy world, but I know what happens in every aspect of that game because it's such a big pop culture phenomenon that like, and of course I watched the abridged series, so I know that game pretty well, and I want like an experience of a Final Fantasy game that I feel like would be more for me. And Final Fantasy IX, I've heard it has this character named Vivi that apparently is like a really good character and has a really cute, wholesome story that I could like get into. And I'm just like, I want to play it. And I'm tempted to try to get it for PC or for whatever, because I don't have, I think it's like, what's the original console that it's for?
PlayStation.
I can't think. 2?
Nope,
or
just
PlayStation
PlayStation
4?
1.
Oh, I don't have a PlayStation 1. I have a PlayStation 2, but oh my gosh.
Well, PlayStation 2 is backwards compatible.
Oh, so PlayStation 1 game could work in a PlayStation 2. Ooh, this changes things.
Katie just
maybe
rubs
I could just
hands
get me
together.
I wish we lived in the world still where I could like go and get those video games and rent them from like Blockbuster, or like go to the library and get them, because the library that I have doesn't like have video games like that.
I've got a first generation PlayStation 3, because that was the only generation of the PlayStation 3s that was backwards compatible. So I just have a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4, and that allows me to play all PlayStation games.
Oh wait, so you're saying that the PlayStation 3 was the first generation of backwards compatible, so the PlayStation 2 isn't?
No.
Or...
PlayStation 2 is backwards compatible. PlayStation 3 is not backwards compatible, except for the first generation of PlayStation 3s. They stopped making them.
The first release of the PlayStation 3s,
Okay. Well, cool. Then I will look into that, because that feels like a game that, like, I don't know, I could, for the holidays, I could see myself playing it. Like, it seems like something that could be really fun.
Yeah, 9 looks really cute. Like, I remember seeing all the characters and thinking they were all, like, really adorable.
Yeah, there's this song by Brental Floss called like it's like about Vivi. I think it's called Vivi, and it's just about Vivi in the game, and it's like about life not getting you down, and like how Vivi's going through like this really confused, depressive like state because someone that they loved they lost, and like they don't know what to do, and they're this cute little wizard that's trying to figure out their place in the world, and I'm like, I'm a wizard trying to figure out my place in the world. I want to watch Vivi's story, and I want to play it, I want to experience it, and then I can say I played a Final Fantasy game. So that's kind of kind of a potential goal that I have. But otherwise, I'm on episode 39 of Critical Role.
Oh yeah, you are.
Nice.
It's happening, and I'm 100% caught up with the manga for Promised Neverland. I'm back at reading it weekly. And oh my
Ooh.
god, so much is happening, y'all. It's crazy.
Oh man,
The Promised Neverland.
They got a second season
yeah.
confirmed for the anime.
Yes, that's for 2020. I'm very excited.
Me too.
But like god, the first bit of the Promised Neverland, it changes a lot.
I bet.
Like the place we're at now, I could not have predicted this. I'm happy, but I'm confused and I'm scared. I'm just like, I don't know what's happening.
I'm excited. Video game wise, I'm excited for Last of Us 2 coming out next year. It got pushed back to, I think, May.
Yes.
And then for anime, whenever it comes out, I'm excited for Rising of the Shield Hero. That's the one that I'm like super hype about because it's coming back for a 2 and a 3. So
Yo!
I'm just like, yes, good. I need more rough Talia, best waifu, best girl.
Yes, for sure.
Brian, our KRWBY's audio editor, is like reading ahead for all the translated light novels, and he says that it's very hot and cold in the novels. So he's curious to see how the anime is going to handle it. So me too.
Yeah.
Oh, another anime that's really good that I watch with my boyfriend is Vinland Saga. It's like a little darker, but like I'm okay with a little dark. It's like very Viking time, like, and it has some historical accuracies to it too, but it's just kind of a badass show. And like it's also got like its sad bits and like its political bits, and like it's really cool altogether. But there's this boy named Thorkel that is like, he's the best character. And I'm putting that out there. Go watch Vinland Saga if you want something that's a little dark, a little sad, you might learn a little history, but it's also really badass and like cool. And it's not something that I've watched before. I've had people vaguely compare it to, what's the name of that big manga that?
Berserk?
Oh no. Berserk, yes.
Oh, God,
people have vaguely
Berserk,
compared
Jesus.
it to Berserk, with less of some of the things that I've heard make Berserk very
Intense.
hard to read for some people. Yeah, it has a little less of that, like a little less Demon Lord King stuff. I've never read Berserk, but I've heard about
Berserk gets real intense.
Yes, I've heard some things in there, and while there's definitely like some stuff in Vinland Saga, it's not at that level at least yet. But I recommend it. But yeah, in terms of lighthearted games, I'm still on my Stardew Valley bullshit too.
You're always on your Stardew Valley bullshit. I'm always on my my She-Ra and the Princesses of Power bullshit. So like,
I'm on that too.
Annika, you should definitely
Hey,
watch
Adora.
it.
Okay.
No, stop.
You should join us, Annika, because Glimmer is my spirit animal.
Katra is my spirit animal. God,
okay,
I love her.
I'll consider.
Yeah, just throw it onto the pile of things that people tell you to watch and read. Demon Slayer's another one I need to watch. I really do. I've heard it's really good.
We could just talk about anime all day, really.
You know, we really could, but
It's gonna be
bring
a
up valid
24-hour
points.
long Perpetually Ajar.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on episode 2 of Demon Slayer. I started Demon Slayer, and the first episode really turned me off because it's so
I've only seen one
stereotypical
episode.
shonen. It's so boring.
Yeah.
And so I dropped it, and everybody
That's what I did.
everybody I've spoken to just said like, "We're so sorry about episode 1. Please continue. It's so good."
Yeah, that's exactly what I've heard, because I watched one episode to give it a shot, and then I stopped, and then literally, all my friends are like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It goes so different. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to trust you, because these are friends that I trust their anime opinions.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, let's stop talking about anime for now.
Okay.
But we're weebs. We're gonna come back to it. It'll happen. But let's get into our Weiss Breakers.
You
I think
did it
is time.
again, Katy.
Ha ha! Wait, that they're officially called Weiss Breakers now.
No,
So
you did it again. What do we do before the Weiss Breakers, Katie?
Shit! I'm a terrible host.
I was literally sitting here twiddling my thumbs going, she's going to forget it again.
You're gonna forget. Dang, and I just gotta say it now, audience, call me out. I'm the one that made the decision to move the KRWBY News Corner to the front of the episode, and I'm the one that keeps forgetting it. So I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible human being. Please, Beau, take us to our KRWBY News Corner, and I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Oh, but I'll miss you so much, Katie. Oh, she actually shut the fuck up. Okay, anyways, well, what's up, guys? Welcome to the KRWBY News Corner. I'm Beau. I'm your host. You already know that. I just like doing it because it makes me feel important. Nondescript Winter Holiday 2 is officially in pre-production right now, this moment in time, 9:49 a.m., November 21st. Oscar, please do not bark. I see you priming for a bork. At the time we're recording this, we've started recording our dialogue with our different actors, and we're really excited. Everything's sounding so awesome. I got to direct you, Katy, the other day.
Oh, for the audience listening, Oscar is the name of the dog, not the character from RWBY.
Oh yeah, my dog Oscar, the one that I'm house sitting for.
She was not telling Oscar to not bark. That would be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird. I'm sorry. Thank you for clarifying that. Got to record Katy the other night. Got to record Cole. Got to record who else? Nicole. So that was awesome. It's starting to sound really cool. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. Principal photography, aka filming, is supposed to start next week. The week of Thanksgiving. So we'll see how well that goes.
Oof.
And hopefully by the time this podcast is coming out, we will be done with filming and moving into post-production and having everything be in the hands of our lovely editors, our video and audio editors. So yeah, keep an eye out on the channel for Nondescript Winter Holiday 2 coming out during the holidays, obviously. Not this coming holiday, but the next one. It's not Thanksgiving. It's definitely not Thanksgiving. Anyways, moving right along. Currently in production is the Weiss comic dubs. We have a special Christmas single coming out in November.
I had to do some singing for it as Weiss, and I've got to tell you, it's pretty funny.
Listen, I got to hear it's funny, yes. I got to hear it for my first time yesterday, and it blew me away. Like, I'm so excited, you guys. Like, I had no idea that Katy had such a voice on her. And I'm just like, you know what?
Oh, wait. Oh, God.
It makes sense. It makes sense because she's Weiss. You know, she's just awesome at everything.
No, you're thinking about the other singing thing I did. For the comic dubs, I had to do some in-character singing as Weiss, and it sounds hilarious.
Well, you'll get to hear both sides of it. You'll get to hear the comedic,
you'll get to hear both,
and you'll get to hear the really good one too. I mean, they're both really good, just good in different ways.
One of them is good in a different way.
Listen, Katy, shut up. Let me just shower you with affection, okay?
Let me praise you.
Let me praise you. All right, moving right along. Friendly reminder that we do have RWBY Talk every Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern, ideally. This last one that we did definitely did not happen until like 1 a.m. Eastern, and we were very sorry about that. You can blame Ian for being late. Every week we do plan to have a different guest star, someone from KRWBY, sometimes friends from outside of KRWBY. We're just excited to get some people together to talk about the new RWBY episodes from Volume 7 every week. So make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so that way you can catch those discussions every Sunday, again, at 11 p.m. Eastern. Speaking of the KRWBY channel, make sure to keep an eye on the on the community tab, on the KRWBY channel. We're going to be doing some more updates pretty regularly on there. We've started posting kind of earlier in the day for the days of RWBY Talk. I personally went ahead and posted an introductory post on there, kind of letting people know who I was, what I do for KRWBY, and to keep an eye out for updates on like the VR shorts that we're working on, possibly behind the scenes pictures, stuff like that, just to kind of get the hype up so that you guys know and have an idea of what we're working on currently. If you'd like to see some exclusive content, if you haven't already, please check out our Patreon. We have behind-the-scenes audio, we have behind-the-scenes videos, stuff that doesn't ever make it to the channel, just funny moments, funny bloops, like just random shenanigans. You also get access to most of our content ahead of time, like our RWBY Abridged episodes, our VR shorts, our comic dubs, our funny moments, all that you get early access to if you're one of our patrons. So make sure that you go and check out the different tiers so you can kind of see what you can unlock with different amounts that you can pledge each month. And as always, please do not forget to follow our Twitter, which is at RWBYABRG, RWBY Abridged. We are posting regular updates on there with links to our new content, and we interact with a lot of people on there, and it's a lot of fun. I feel like we've been doing better about posting on there pretty regularly and pretty consistently, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like, a few of us have access to it, so it's kind of funny to try and see. Some of us sign it, some of us don't. So it's funny to look at the ones that are not signed and just be like, oh, they made a spelling error. I'll bet you it was so-and-so. I like trying to play the game of figuring out who it was that most recently posted on the Twitter. And, of course, finally, last but not least, please join our Discord. We have a lot of fun on our Discord. We have almost 3,000 members on our server now. I know. And it's a lot of fun. We hang out in the voice channels, we hang out in all the different text channels. We talk, we chat about the different episodes from RWBY. We chat about the different content that we've posted on the channel. We go into the voice channels and we do funny little improv sessions. Sometimes we'll read fanfics. Sometimes we'll just read scenes straight from the show. You never know. We just like to hop in and hang out, and sometimes we troll on alternate accounts and you'll never know it was us. Anyways, that's going to be it for KRWBY News Corner. Back to you, Katy.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, I'd like to just profusely apologize again for almost skipping it, even though, of course, I could never skip it because Beau's too good. Beau would find a way. Beau would definitely find a way. But yes, one other thing I wanted to say that I forgot to mention earlier is, I don't know if everybody knows this, but I do a Wendy's cosplay. And
It's really
next
good.
week... Thank you. And for their Feast of Legends D&D thing that they did, I'm making I'm putting together like a big costume for it, and Wendy's actually like supported my Ko-fi goal and want to see it. So the costume will be ready by next week for me, and like I'll be doing the photo shoot next week, like of Thanksgiving week. So I'm like really nervous and scared and happy, and I just wanted to put that out there. So by the time you're listening to this, it'll already be done. And I'm really excited about this Wendy's costume, and I wanted to share that with all of you beautiful people.
I'm so excited to see that, Katy. It's going to be so good.
I'm so excited. The armor's going to be here this weekend, and it's going to be cool. But yes, KRWBY News Corner stuff, really exciting. Now it is time to get to our Weiss Breakers.
Mm-hmm.
To our Weiss Breakers. I don't know why I get so nasally with Weiss, but I love her so much. She's worth it.
She's best girl.
All right.
It's okay.
So first Weiss Breaker is... Would you rather have unlimited international first-class tickets or never have to pay for food at restaurants?
I would say international first-class tickets, because then I could go to whatever con I wanted.
It's true. Well, you'd still have to pay for, like, your Uber or your hotel and your food.
Yeah, but I mean, flights are expensive.
That's true. But imagine you'd never have to, like, pay for food again, because you could just go to any restaurant and just take home food.
God,
and,
you know how unhealthy that would be, though? To just
No,
eat
you
from
could make it healthy.
restaurant
It's free.
foods?
You could go and like get their salads. You could get like their grilled chicken.
But
like
I
you
don't
could go to
like
the most
salads,
expensive restaurant.
Katy.
Oh, or then either way you wouldn't be eating healthy whether you had the free restaurant food or not.
Don't call me out like this.
Ho ho! Yeah, I'm kind of, because with the flights, I think that there is like something really valid there. But a flight is typically just kind of like maybe $300 to $400, at max about $1,000. But food is something you have to have forever.
I don't know. I have
And,
to
like,
have cons.
No, I mean, I do have to have cons, of course. But, like, food expenses, I think, can get kind of pretty hefty just in your everyday life. And the money you're saving from not having to buy food at all, and you get to be well-fed, heck, you can take home leftovers and feed your friends, too.
That's fair.
You can, like...
You could afford all those flights.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, you can afford all the flights, and you're not going to starve. Versus, yeah, I think this is making me say that I want to go with food just because then I'll never have to go hungry. I can keep putting money aside that I would spend on food and use those for the flights. And then when I'm out of town, I get to try all the cool food for free.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, let's look at the wording here, because first of all, it says
Yeah.
unlimited international first class tickets.
Ooh.
International means that you'd have to go out of country for it to be.
See, I interpreted it differently. You just have to fly into an international airport.
Maybe.
Just a really long trip. Really long
the
trip.
point is that would be very long. I don't have that kind of patience. I love food. So in terms of saving money, definitely the restaurants, because I don't fly that often.
Yeah, although I will say if I did the food, I'd get to fly more because there's lots of more places I want to travel. And if all I have to do is pay for the plane ticket and I can figure out, the lodging and all that stuff, and I don't have to pay for my food and I get to try the best of the best food from all these places, like that's part of the experience for me, and it saves me money. Yeah. I'm definitely going with the food.
Food's expensive, y'all.
It is, but also, dude, I could go to Japan. I could go to their most expensive sushi restaurant and just be like, give me all of it.
You could, go to the Monster Hunter Cafe.
There's so many cafes in Japan I want to go to.
Right?
When I one day inevitably go to Japan. I know. There's the Ranma 1/2 Cafe. There's, the Sanji One Piece Cafe.
You need to bring
There's the
Annika
KRWBY
with you
Cafe.
because then she can just, translate everything for you.
Yes! Oh my gosh. Because, me and my boyfriend have talked about we wanted to go to Japan one day. And, I'm not in a place to, fully save for it yet. But it's kind of in, our 5 to 10 year plan, of course.
Yeah, same.
It's going to happen for us one day. And whenever we go, there's potential that we talk about maybe going with a group or something. Or maybe it'll just be us. I don't know. It's on our plan to go. It's not necessarily decided who we'd go with or if it's just us or not. But
so for all
we're
those
for sure going one
listeners that don't know, I am a college major in Japanese culture and language.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's I know the language, but I haven't put it into practice yet, so I'm not very fluent yet. But I could be if I put it to use. So that is one of the things on my bucket list I really want to do is go to Japan and actually use what I know.
Well, if you had all these international flights, you could go to Japan whenever you wanted.
But that's a long time to wait, and I don't like.
No, that's true.
I don't want to do it too often.
No, for sure. And honestly, yeah, just thinking about free food makes
Right?
I would literally be like, yo, I want to fucking fly to Paris tomorrow. I'm going to just fly to Paris, spend the weekend, and I'll fly back. True story. About 6 months before I met Tina, so probably August or September of 2017, I went through this really crazy wanderlust phase. And I was actually going around and actively going up and down from NorCal to SoCal and staying at hostels for 2 or 3 nights.
Oh, wow.
And just kind of not backpacking necessarily, but just kind of going sightseeing and visiting major cities. I went up to San Francisco, I went to San Jose, went to Sacramento, went to one in Fresno, I've been to ones out here in Vegas. I did, stuff down in San Diego, basically went all the way down to the border and just spent maybe I did it all in a pretty short amount of time, maybe 2 months of it.
Yeah.
Because it was just really wasn't that expensive. I was only spending maybe because they were hostels and they were community dorm rooms essentially. I was really only spending $20-$30 for a whole weekend. Oh, wow. So for 2 to 3 days I was only spending $20-$30 to like stay somewhere, and then I had plenty of money for food and whatnot, and it was just like it was just really crazy. So like traveling has always been something that I've really wanted to be able to do and not
of course
be limited by money. And honestly, I feel like I could budget eating better than I could budget saving up for an expensive ass flight.
That's fair.
So
yeah, that is fair because flights can be expensive.
yeah, so I'm gonna stick with the international first class tickets. I'd want to go and I'd want to embrace that wanderlust once again and go travel the world.
And first class too.
Yeah, first class.
Oh yeah,
you get
you get free
wine,
snacks.
you get food. See, you get free food on that.
That's true. I recently flew first class for the first time and probably the last time because it was a free first class ticket, so I didn't pay for it. And so I was like judging it. I was just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna see what this is like because I got it for free, so like I'm just gonna see how it goes. And I've got to say the difference between first class and like regular class is not worth the extra $300 that you'd have to pay for it, but it was cool. Like the seats are a smidge bigger, but not like crazy big. Like it's not like in movies. And you do get a pillow and a blanket, but like I don't know. I feel like if you just have a nice jacket, that'll work fine. And you do get sody pops right when you get on, but like in regular class, you get a soda pop in the middle of the flight, so it doesn't matter. And then the best part for me was you got like the selection of snacks, and they told you like, because I was like nervous when they showed me the box of snacks. They were like, here, like what would you like? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just take this one. And they were like, take as many as you want. And I was like, this is the dream. Like that was the one moment I was like, oh my God. Like they didn't shame me. They weren't like, oh, just take one. Like they were like, ma'am, take as many as you want. And like they said it with this confidence of like, dude, we're not here to judge you, man. Take those snacks. I took 5 snacks. Like I wasn't confident enough to take like a handful, like a whole like what chow, like because I don't know, I still feel nervous. But I took 5 snacks. I took like a chip, 2 cookie things, like and 3 like gummy things. Like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna eat some snacks.
Honestly, the
nice.
craziest you'll ever see me is when I'm just like someone like holds out like a selection of things to me, and I'm like, okay, default, just take one, and they're like, take as many as you want, bitch. I'll take the bowl from you.
Dude, yeah, I was so like, that was what I wanted to do, but I was like, okay, there are limits, but you can get away with more here. Yeah.
I'll at least jokingly be like, okay, I'll just take this and like pretend like I'm taking the bowl from them. Just to see how they react.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think our answers to this one, so usually, Annika, how it happens is one of us will disagree in the first one, and then like the next one, a different person will disagree, and we can never get true unison, like except for maybe on one of them. My goal is for one day on the Weiss Breakers for all of us, all 3 questions to completely agree.
It's always me on the first one, though.
On the first one, yeah. Like it's so crazy, and I'm not picking them in a way of like I know Beau's gonna do this. Like I pick them pretty randomly, but yeah, it's funny. So this first one, me and Annika are on the same team. Beau is the odd one out. So this next question, we'll see who the odd one out is, or we'll see if we all can agree. And honestly, though, I think our answers to the first one, I validly see both sides. I've seen different questions where I'm like, I don't know, I fully see my side, and I'm just like, I don't know about the other option. But these two, I definitely could see me going both ways. Mm-hmm. But yes, Weiss Breaker number 2. Would you like to read it, Beau?
Sure. I'm not Weiss, but why not?
Haha.
Would you rather live on the beach or in a cabin in the woods? I already live
Annika,
on the
you
beach.
should answer first. This is true.
That one's actually super easy for me because I am terrified in the woods and I grew up on the beach. And I actually feel really calm when I'm near the ocean. So I would absolutely love to live on the beach as long as there wasn't, like, I guess, the threat of tsunamis or, high tide sweeping the house away. In fact, my first 2 houses both had beach views, and I adored living there. And then I've done lots of camping in the woods. Never a cabin. Usually it's been camping, and I'm always terrified of serial killers every time I do that. So I'm very
Mm.
uneasy in the woods.
You sound
I
like
like
me.
the
You sound like me
Yeah.
because I have xylophobia. And
Hmm.
xylophobia
Oh.
is the fear of the woods.
Oh,
I can
wow.
spend like a day or two and be okay, but my anxiety will be like through the roof. But like
Mhm.
living in the woods, it's just like no. I wouldn't be able to handle that. I can handle my anxiety being high for a couple days, but my
Yeah.
anxiety just being high constantly is just like, nah, I'm not about that.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna be the odd one out here because for like the beach, I like the idea of it's like closer to civilization and stuff like that, and like so, and I do like the sand and the beach and stuff, but I really love just naturey like greenery, and I love quiet. Like I like when I'm, as I guess stereotypical as it sounds, for recording for voiceover, I like being kind of in an area that's not very populated, so that I don't have a lot of like horns honking or like people running around and laughing outside. Like I like to be able to record in peace and kind of do my stuff in peace, but I like to be at least like 15 to 20 minutes away from the city so that I can, go do all my city stuff. And of course I want to, be in civilization and have internet and all that good stuff. So I would say
You like
cabin in the woods.
a good getaway.
Yeah. Like I would say cabin in the woods, but only under the condition that it's like it's not like so secluded that there's no internet, there's no like civilization. Like it would just kind of be like a more woody, earthy southern area that like is just happens to be, lots of greenery, lots of trees, kind of cabiny, but I still have internet, I still am connected to society. I can still drive my car like to the city. Like it would be sort of a situation like that, but I just love greenery and just kind of being in my own little space so that when I'm recording or when I'm doing whatever, I like solitude. But then I can, whenever I want to, I can go and be social and do all this stuff. And like being on the beachfront, I just feel like I'd get so annoyed at there constantly being people. And like I need my privacy.
Yeah,
That's fair.
See, I'm, I talk about my xylophobia, but then I used to live in Hawaii for a time when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
And
I always learn so much about you on these episodes, Beau.
And I am terrified of the ocean as well.
Really?
Oh, no!
Which is why I typically stay to cities, because it's not a forest and it's not the ocean. I don't like being near or in water that I can't touch the bottom, like in.
Yes.
So obviously the ocean is a no-go. I like the beach though. As long as I don't have to go in the water or like near the water, I'm cool. So that's why I say living at the beach as opposed to living at the cabin in the woods. But like I don't know. I have something about the beach and the ocean just makes me suddenly so aware of how small my existence is.
Well,
yeah, and I think my idea for my situation isn't your stereotypical like Hilda cabin, like from the show Hilda on Netflix. My idea, as dumb of an example as this is, but it's the only one I can think of, in the movie Twilight, the Cullens live in the forest, but they have this really nice house. Like, it's like a big ass house. Like it has like the see-through window stuff. Like it's very pretty and earthy and naturey, but it's also like, it's a modern ass place. Like, and they're not too far from the city. Like that's kind of my ideal.
See,
like I'm not far away from civilization, but I get my privacy.
You say that, and I think of like the beautiful house from When a Stranger Calls.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Or like the beautiful house from like Until Dawn.
There are very many beautiful houses in the middle of the woods where a serial killer eventually shows up and tries to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't want like full middle of the woods. I kind of want to be like on the edge near society.
But see,
a serial
they're not
killer
that far from the
get
city, Katy.
I don't know, in Alabama at least, like there's lots of naturey areas that are not far from the city.
I have a small story to tell about this. So like, I said that I would be willing to stay like a night or two out in the woods, right? So back when Until Dawn came out a few years back, my cosplay friends and I were like, oh my God, we want to do a cosplay group of the group from Until Dawn. So, you know, of
Yeah.
course, the story of Until Dawn is a bunch of kids go out and rent a cabin, and then, like, a cannibal eats them, and then they turn into cannibals, and it's the worst thing ever. And so
I just want you to know. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
our immediate response to, oh, let's do a cosplay group is, all right, guys, let's have a bunch of us young adults go out and rent a cabin out in the middle of the woods. That seems like a good idea. Because we wanted to do like a legit photo shoot, like at a cabin out in the woods.
Yeah, and that would be a fun trip to do.
But then a lot of us sat down and thought of it, and we're like, this feels like buying a ticket to that ship that's being released next year called the Titanic 2 that's traversing the same route as the
gosh.
original Titanic. Like, history is destined to repeat itself.
I mean, murderers and serial killers are going to get you wherever you are.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't truly live your life in fear of cabins and stuff. Because I've actually gone to, like, trips with, like, friends where we've gotten, like, a cabin in places, and it's been really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
but we scared ourselves
as long as you have a lot
out
of people, I would not, like, I'd want to live with my boyfriend if I'm doing this cabin thing, like, in the woods place. Because if I'm by myself, like, that's one thing. But, like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like I said with my cabin situation, I don't want it to be flat in the center of woods with no society around. I'd want it to be kind of on the edge where I'm not any more than a 20, maybe 30-minute drive from civilization. And also, like, I might have neighbors nearby. There's probably other houses, like, a block or a few away. Like, it's not like woods. It's like, you know, Alabama naturey, lots of trees and grass and like forest stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't
but
say
there's
that you have to
also-
be isolated. It just says that you're in the woods.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's kind of my answer because I just love greenery. I love being able to walk outside and put my feet in the grass, and I like putting my feet in the sand too. But there's just something about like that I like more. Just about like maybe it's how I was raised in the South, but I like the greenery and stuff.
So that's super cute.
Yep.
Yeah. But like I do still need my city time, dear God. Like I travel a lot too. I could not live my life without going to other places. I like having this place this is where I sleep, this is where I do my work, but then on the weekends or like once a month I'm like, all right, where am I going now?
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was
Yes.
funny that we were like, oh yeah, let's do this cosplay group. And then we all kind of thought about it and we're like, aren't we kind of setting ourselves up to like be victims like the kids were in the video game? And we just
Oh my
kind of scared
God.
ourselves out of it.
Aw, I wish you guys would have done it. I think you guys
Yeah.
would have had a really fun time.
It was
bet
really
you
funny
would've.
because at the time I was really still kind of going through like my gender identity, and
Yeah.
I was binding like near constantly, and they were like, you know, Beau, you have like a faux hawk like the one dude, you're gonna play the douchebag. And I was like, okay, cool, why not? I'm the douchebag that like gets his girlfriend killed, but whatevs.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I just thought that was a funny story that we just
That-
scared ourselves.
That is amazing. And that's super cute too.
Psyched ourselves
Like,
out.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so on that question, I was the odd one out.
Mhm.
First one was Beau. So this next one, Annika's got to be the odd one out.
Let's find out.
We'll see. All right, next Weiss Breaker. Would you rather never get angry or never be envious?
What about you guys?
You're the guest. You answer
I'm still
first.
thinking. Yeah, you answer first, Annika. Let's see.
Okay, so I think I would prefer to never get angry because
Mm-hmm.
if you're envious, you want to get angry, but if you can't get angry, then people don't know you're envious, so you can still be friends with people, I guess. I've always had like this respect for people who can, I guess, hold negative emotions in them and be the bigger person and like continue to smile despite their pain, I guess. Especially
Yeah.
characters in anime who can do that. Like they're always
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for people who can suffer through pain and
Yeah.
still smile through it all. So I feel like that kind of calls back to that emotion in that like
Mm-hmm.
I could be envious, but as long as nobody knows and I can keep smiling because I don't get angry over it, I think that is probably what I would choose.
Ooh, I think and I might need to talk it out a bit, but with anger, and versus envy, I think with the idea of envy means that you have the potential to look at someone else's life or look at what they have, and envious takes it to that extreme where you become unhappy with what you have because they have something better or worse or whatever, versus anger feels more like a natural, okay reaction to have sometimes. There are times where you shouldn't, but like there are times when I think it's okay for you to be angry if someone has hurt you, but I don't think that there's times where I've wanted to feel envious. Not that I want to feel anger, but like
Sure.
that I could justify envy, and I usually have to talk myself out of it because, of course, like I have great things in my life, but sometimes those feelings can come to you. I think I would want to give up being envious because then I would truly never be unsatisfied with my life. I would never compare myself to others, which is something that I can struggle with imposter syndrome. Like, I think it would help me towards like making sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm focusing on it making me happy because I'm not comparing myself to others. I'm not jealous of what they have. I'm going for what I want. And like nowadays, that's something that like I've definitely obviously felt moments in my life where I'm like, oh man, geez, they're doing better than me or they're doing this or that. But I never let it get to a point, to an extreme where it actually affects the way I treat someone or I treat myself. Like, but of course those feelings happen and sometimes they can bum me out. But I feel like if I wasn't able to feel them, I wouldn't lose anything. In fact, I think I would gain more in that sense because there is something good about looking at others, seeing that they're doing something cool and emulating it or being like, wow, they're doing something cool. I want to be like that or I want to do more like that. But if you take away that envy element, I think that can make it even better and more productive because then you could only look at them through that lens. And so I think I would want to give up envy.
I'm inclined to agree for very similar reasons. Is that envy for me personally? This is something that I guess I've never really necessarily admitted out loud before, but I don't think there's ever been a case where I've been envious of someone and gotten over it.
Okay.
Honestly, like it's just kind of one of those, like I might forget about it. I might forget that I'm envious of it, but like years down the line, remember it and be like, man, I still really wish I could have done that. Like I should have been the one to do it, or, whatever it was. And but with anger is something that so basically envy for me doesn't heal with time or doesn't go away. Anger, however, I feel like can be something that can be worked through and eventually gotten over. I do struggle a lot with my frustrations, and with like the most frustrating thing to me is that like I have trouble understanding things sometimes, and I don't necessarily mean to get mad at the people that I'm like having trouble understanding. I'm usually mad at myself for having such a difficult time understanding it. And
yes,
I think that it's a very important part of becoming who I'm supposed to be by learning to work through that.
Yeah.
And I think that it would teach me a lot more patience having to work through that, as opposed to, not necessarily having to do that and just like being envious all the time. I mean, it doesn't necessarily say that it'll amplify whatever the other one is, but like, envy is something that I never seem to be able to let go. And so I would rather be able to finally let go of all of that and be able to focus on bettering myself and being more patient with my anger problems.
I'm hugging you through the microphone right now, Beau.
Aw, thanks, Katy.
We are the same.
So yeah, you were right. I am the odd one out because
oh heck,
I guess hearing like your guys' like definitions of the term envy and like how you want to get rid of that emotion, I feel like I've never struggled with that ever. I've never compared myself to other people. I've never felt jealous of other people. I mean, every now and then I'll be all like, man, I wish I were, I wish I were far along in life like Katy is, but I always like
turn real far.
I always turn that around. I'm like, well, then let's get there. So I've never really held that against people. But anger is something I've definitely struggled with. So I feel like I still gotta stick to what I said.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of interesting,
Well,
like learning like what other people struggle with and like what
yeah.
isn't issues with other people. And I think I really like your guys'
Yeah.
answers though, because I think that's like a really mature way of looking at it.
Yeah, I honestly just kind of saying it out loud helped me to kind of understand the question more and also understand myself more. Because sometimes you have to be able to evaluate something in a different way other than just being by yourself and thinking about it. Like sometimes having someone there to listen or just saying it out loud and kind of analyzing both of those definitions can help. And envy, my first instinct when I saw the question was, oh, anger. But then I was like, well, when I really think about it, when I think about the benefits of these emotions and the negativity of these emotions and the times at which they are called upon, I definitely think that envy is something that I've had more of than anger. Like whenever I've experienced anger, it's far and few between. I'm usually very passive. I'm usually very like go with the flow. Like my expectations don't get to a point where something can truly anger me. Like I'm fortunate that I've never really had anger issues. I've had like situations where I've like been upset and like if something small will happen, I'll be like, oh geez. But then 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, it's okay. This, and this. But like envy is something that it's never been to an extreme, but I've definitely been in situations where I've looked at something and been like, oh man, and like it's kind of bummed me out for a little bit. And like I'd rather just not have that at all. Like I'd rather immediately pick myself back up, which I, again, usually do. It's mostly like it's far and few between when I'm actually in a situation where it actually affects me. But it's never been in a situation where it's affected the way I've treated others or anything like that. I'm always nothing but happy and excited for others because there's truly everything to gain from just loving and supporting your fellow like comrades. And so
and that's something that again I struggle with very much because I am very short-tempered. I am very, very hot-headed when it comes to things. And on top of that, there is that like I said, frustration that kind of devolves into anger eventually. Because I'm frustrated at myself for not being able to like it. Literally the best way I can describe it is, when you hear someone say like, oh man, I'm hitting a wall with this, it's the most frustrating, infuriating thing to be able to see what the source of your anger and your frustration is, but not be able to understand how to cope with it. To just genuinely not be able to understand how to fix this problem. Even if you have someone there right by your side telling you it's okay, like just like try to figure out what the source of this is and just take a breath and remember that you're not necessarily angry at this person, you're angry at the situation that you're in, you're angry that you're having trouble, that you're struggling with this, and it still takes people straight up just being like, Beau, like, look at who you're talking to. Think about what you're saying right now. Think about what you're doing and how you're feeling. And remember that it's because you're frustrated. Like, you need to, like, it literally still, to this day, like, it's something that happened during the scripting of Nondescript Winter Holiday. Like, I was just so frustrated about something, and I let it get the better of me, and it really, really sucked because it ended up devolving into this like 2-3 hour long thing. But Brian was there to help pull me out of it, and it was just this. It's something that I feel, though, as nice as it would be to not have to struggle with it anymore, I genuinely feel like once I am able to figure out healthier ways of coping with it and dealing with it, that I will be a better person because of that. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
this
my
question
take on
took us to very deep places.
Yeah. So that's my answer. I would rather never be envious.
Well, all right. So for this round, we all three had different answers.
Did we?
Or like we all eventually, like for the first one, Beau was the odd one out. For the second one, I was the odd one out, and the third one, Annika's the odd one out.
Yep.
There we go.
Heck yeah. Well, all right.
Balanced.
That was beautiful. And everyone listening in the comments below, please tell us what your thoughts are on any of these, because we always read the comments and would love to see them. So now, let us get to our fan questions. Our first one comes from 85 Cats, and it is, what's your favorite cheese?
Oh my god.
Haha, I've been eating a lot of cheese this past week, and so I'm just
I know
like...
my exact answer for this was something along the lines of, I'd tell you, but I don't want to be too cheesy.
Cheesy.
I like cheddar.
Okay,
I like
so-
cheddar. Like, to be completely honest. Oh, what? It wasn't Gouda enough for you?
Stop!
I just made a queso pun and no one heard
I'm sorry.
it. I do like queso. Like white Mexican cheese. Like, just like your stereotypical, like, white queso is kind of the cheese that I can never truly get enough of.
Have you guys seen that Monty Python skit where he's naming off all the cheese for like 30 seconds straight?
Oh my gosh, I don't think so.
Oh god, if everybody listening and you too as well, whenever you get a chance, go look up the Monty Python cheese skit. It's so
Okay.
funny.
I'm gonna need to do that later. This is now
I
a
definitely
mission for
made
me.
that Gouda pun at Katy like last night. She was just
Wow.
like, she like tweeted like, I've been eating so much cheese, and I was just like, that can't be Gouda for you.
Gouda. But no, I really have. I've had like queso 3 times this week. I had mac and cheese for dinner yesterday. Like I've been on a cheese like frenzy, and I'm not ready to give it up either, man. I might do it again.
I have 3 words for this answer. I'm lactose intolerant.
That's
No!
I can have like little itty bitty, like if I have a cheeseburger, like I'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
if I have, like a quesadilla, that's like I might spend a lot of time with the bathroom, but that depends.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I can't do a whole lot of cheese. Cheese is actually the thing that like fucks me up the most for whatever reason.
Oh, you poor soul.
Yeah. But yeah, I cheddar, like sharp cheddar though, is like my favorite if I had to pick.
Can I say cheesecake is my favorite cheese?
No, that doesn't count, Katy. That's cheating.
No.
You already said queso.
Because cream cheese, like, it's not really my favorite cheese because I can't eat it plain.
That sounds like quitter talk.
Or I've tried. It doesn't taste that good. to
That's
me
fair.
plain. But in cheesecake, I love it. But like cubed cheddar cheese and stuff, I can eat that anywhere, anytime.
same.
But queso, whenever it's there, I just get so excited. Like something inside of me awakens whenever someone has cheese dip. Like, ooh, that Velveeta Rotel cheese dip that like you can make at home, where I question if it's real cheese, but then I don't because it's so delicious.
You're just like, it's so good, I don't even
love that
care.
stuff. Yeah, it's so tasty when it's heated up, and the little tomatoes inside of it give it like this little spice, and it just, oh my god.
What about you, Annika?
It's so good.
So it
She said
is-
cheddar, right?
No, Beau said cheddar.
Oh.
It is, anyone who knows me, knows that I have the palate of a 4-year-old, so I don't like vegetables, I like candy.
Is it string cheese?
So no, it's Kraft singles.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
I will eat that shit up, like, if it's in the fridge, I will put that on bread, and I'll put a little mayonnaise on it,
wow.
and that's all I need.
Oh god, you're so American.
So, yeah,
You know,
American cheese for me.
we talked about how, like, maybe that's why Annika wants to be able to never have to pay for food at restaurants, because she needs to branch out from her, like, Kraft single sandwiches.
Oh my god. I can see her at Pizza Hut now.
She goes to, like, a 5-star restaurant in the middle of France, and they're just like, bonjour, mademoiselle, what can we get for you? And she's just like, I will just take the finest Kraft singles you have.
I would like your finest grilled cheese, please.
I'd do it. I would so do that. Grilled cheese, please.
You order chicken tendies from 5-star restaurants, don't you?
I would.
would too.
I absolutely would order chicken tendies.
Wow. Uncultured swine.
This is-
Do you do that thing where you put Kraft singles on top of chips and call those nachos?
What? No.
Ew. No.
Okay. Okay, we're not that level yet, because I've seen that on Twitter.
She's like, listen, I may be a heathen, but I'm not uncultured.
I'm not the devil.
Man,
I'm sorry, Annika. I love you.
This is definitely why I wouldn't want to pay for food at my restaurants. It's for my craft singles addiction.
Oh my god.
Let's be real. Katy doesn't ever have to pay for food at restaurants. She would just live at Wendy's.
I really would.
Just all the
I would have
Frosties,
so many
all the
Frosties.
chicken nuggies.
Yes.
Do you count
I need
fast
it.
food as restaurants?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. You can sit down. I think I'm going to say a restaurant is anywhere you can like go and sit down, which most restaurants are. There's very few that are only drive-through.
Heck yeah, I wouldn't want to pay for restaurants.
Yeah, because dude, I eat more like Chinese takeout.
But
than
I'm going to add a
probably most
limitation.
people.
But in order for it to take effect of not having to pay for it, you have to actually go in and sit down to eat. You can't just go through the drive-through.
Oh,
I'm still down.
oof.
I do that all the time.
As long as I can take leftovers.
Yeah,
'cause
leftovers are
every
fine.
place I go to.
But
yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
at least have like half of your meal there.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
that's not
yeah.
not a problem for me.
Yeah, I could do that.
Hell yeah.
I mean, hey, if it's free food and it's free
You
good
just
food,
walk up
like-
to like a fancy ass 5-star restaurant in the middle of France, like, yes, hello, I'm here to pick up my to-go order.
my to-go order of a grilled cheese. All right. We're going to our next question. This is too much, and now I want cheese.
I don't.
Okay.
I sure don't.
This yes, Mr. Lactose Intolerant. Man, we still haven't come up with a funny name through the whole episode.
I
Beau?
feel like
Kraft
it should be
single?
grilled cheese or something like that. Like,
Craft singles addiction.
Craft singles, like envious of craft singles or something.
oh god.
5-star,
All right.
5-star French restaurant of craft singles.
5-star craft single.
Oh no. Why is it always
All
my
right.
jokes that get picked as the title?
That was
It's
so
perfect.
good.
I'm sorry you're so funny, Beau. We can't help
God,
it.
Almost
It's-
as good
all
as your Tanya Yandere joke.
Oh my god.
Oh, I just definitely like peaked my microphone there.
It's fine. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Did you hear that joke? Have you
Okay.
heard that joke, Katy?
I haven't heard that joke.
Okay, so we're talking.
do you know about the saga of Tanya the Evil?
I don't.
It's a
No.
really good anime, actually. It's not spoil anything. It's basically about an alternate timeline where World War I and World War II are basically smashed into one event. In an alternate timeline where magical girls or where magic exists, so there's mages that are in it. But the main characters are the Empire, which is basically Germany in World War I, but they have the tendencies of the Nazis from World War II.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I can't remember how it was, but we got on the discussion of the main character Tanya, of what kind of like dere she was. Was she a tsundere or a yandere? And I was like, well, she's a yandere just for her country.
So-
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So,
And, like,
yeah, they're
Annika-
very nationalistic in that. in
Annika
that
and
anime.
Brian were like crying, and it was the most satisfied I've ever felt telling a joke. Almost now it's second only
amazing.
to 5-star grilled cheeses.
Stop!
Yes, 5-star. 5-star girl.
Anyways,
cheese.
we had to share that story. It was gonna make it on eventually. I knew it was as soon as it
That-
happened.
That is beautiful. And I'm so happy that I've now been
Informed.
put into this circle. I'm so informed now. But yes, all right. Final fan question. And then we're going to wrap things up. So, this comes from Sugar Rush. Thank you for listening, Sugar Rush. And it says, my question is, do you think animals can talk to each other like a dog and a bird can understand each other? Or do you think all animals are like humans and we can only talk to our own species? I am going to go ahead and say that I think we can only talk to our own species, but there's certain things that are communicated throughout despite your species. There are some things that we can all communicate to each other in terms of like, whether we're in pain, like, we can cry out, or like if we're hungry. Like there's certain things that we just unanimously understand living on the earth, but some species communicate more through those things, but there's certain things that can only be communicated among species, I think.
I mean, there's the example of Coco, who learned the gorilla who learned sign language. So we do know it is possible to communicate via cross species.
But I think that's a very specific case.
That's
I don't think that's comparable to an armadillo.
agreed.
Or like an ant.
I do think that is a very specific case. It also is a very unnatural case that was bred, and that was not bred. That was artificially manufactured to work, to prove that it could work. So I don't think that actually happens naturally in the wild.
I would say I believe that there is a certain level of like, there are certain things that are just universal, like pain and excitement, I feel like, and joy and everything like that. But I think that there is a certain level of base communication that different species have with each other, because we've also seen natural predators like bond with what would normally be their prey without any kind of guidance or any kind of like push in that direction, just because they can. And how can they not communicate? How can they do that and not be able to communicate with each other? I feel like.
Interesting.
I feel like if there is any sort of communication between interspecies, it's definitely like, I guess, what we would perceive as a dialect. But I'm probably gonna lean towards I think I don't think there's interspecies communication.
Well, Zootopia says otherwise.
I do think that there's an instinct that's there. So I do think there's like an instinct. I have seen animals of one species like defending animals of another species. I don't think it's because they communicated. I just think that there's like a want to help. I do think there is there's
like there's certain things that like you just understand, like pain, like fear, or like
I do think that I do feel like all animals, even animals as small as ants, have the ability to love and befriend and feel that kind of emotion. But I do think it is on an instinctual level that they can't communicate. They just they try. But so I love animals.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Beau, with like your example about how like different species like doing stuff for each other, I think there is something there, and I think it kind of ties in with, maybe Annika's thoughts about how it's all kind of instinctual. But I think that they are kind of lacking like certain development in certain areas to be able to truly communicate by the standards of our understanding of what communication is. But I think in their own way, there are many things that are communicated across species. And I think maybe like tenderness or whatever, like, in the situations you were describing about an animal of two different species that are sometimes predator prey being with each other, I think that can kind of be a crossfire there of like a situation where something like love or something like pity or understanding is happening, but in its own unique way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I maintain my stance. I think that there's something going on. I think that there's just too many instances of animals that by all accounts should not be able to get along and should not be able to live in any kind of harmony do. Yeah. And I think that there has to be something more than just instinct alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's fair, because I don't know one way or the other.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah. For sure. I know that doggos definitely understand excitement and like fear and sadness. I mean, we train them to literally be emotional support and like all this stuff. Like dogs, we don't deserve them, man.
As I say, as I'm like literally cuddling my dog right now because I haven't seen him since February.
I know, little bad,
my precious baby,
little Oscar.
Yup.
Little Oscar.
Yeah, I gotta share that
Aw.
story since we're talking about animals. It's so funny because like Katy and I did
Yeah.
not know each other before working on KRWBY, and the fact
Yeah.
that, you know, she plays Weiss and I play Winter, we play sisters, and we both have wiener dogs. Like,
It's so
Aw.
great.
and you know what I found out is that Elizabeth Maxwell at one point had a wiener dog, like I think at least as of a couple years ago, and Kara actually had a wiener dog too.
The Schnee family official dog
Oh
is the
my-
wiener dog.
Yeah.
It's true. They're German,
Yeah, they
right?
are German. They're dachshunds.
Yes.
It's just so funny
like,
that like all four of us have had wiener dogs at some point or another.
it's so perfect. Weenie dogs are just so
they
perfect.
are. My dad calls them the clowns of dogs because they're just so goofy.
They are pretty
They're so
goofy.
cute and floppy, and I love them so much. I've been cuddling Princess nonstop, and I can't wait to go after I finish syncing this up to go cuddle her more.
Yes, all the doggos, all the pets, all the lovely animals that are safe to do so
All
deserve
the cutie
cuddles.
patooties.
Please do
Yes.
not go cuddle a porcupine. That sounds dangerous.
Nope, don't do that.
Leave nature alone.
Well, all right. I think we've done it. I think we've made a podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
Woo!
Hooray! Well, Annika, where can they find you? What would you like to promote?
Let's see. My YouTube is available at Neoka-chan X, I believe.
Ooh.
Then I also have my casting call because I'm a voice actor, but I
Woo.
don't remember what my username is at this very moment.
no.
I think it's Neoka. I think it's just base Neoka, Neoka. I also have a Discord server. It's called the Bloody Palace, which we could put a link in the description, I guess. Because
Okay.
I don't know how to ask people to join
yeah.
Discord servers without links.
Anything you would like to link, I can link it in the description. So everybody check the
Yay.
description below.
Yeah.
Join my Discord because I love talking to people. I'm such an extrovert. I love everybody.
That's so awesome. Well, Beau, where can they find
Well,
you?
as always, y'all can find me on Twitter at Beau from KRWBY. That's BeauFromKRWBY. I feel like I've officially warmed up to it, and I post on there pretty regularly now. It was really difficult getting used to, but I think I finally got the hang of it. As always, my Twitch, where I stream video game playthroughs, reactions, all that jazz, which is twitch.tv/CB cosplay. That's CBCOSPLAY. And also my Discord server, which is called the Crimson Raiders. And
Woo.
if you join my Discord server, you have instant access to all of my reaction content, all of my RWBY reactions, my Genlock reactions, different anime series, different movies, you know, kind of just fun gameplay videos that I put together. It's no longer behind a paywall on my Patreon. All you gotta do is be a member of my Discord server. I think we've got somewhere near like 80 members in there now, so like it's getting up there. And
Nice.
yeah, I will also probably send Katy a link to put in the description just because I mention it now. I've mentioned it for several weeks and I have
Yes.
not sent an invite link out for you to put in the description yet.
Yes.
But
we
yeah,
should do that.
that's what I like to plug. What about you, Katy?
Heck yeah, you can find me at KaniDay Official, KaniDay Official on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook you can find me at KaniDay Cosplay, on YouTube you can find me at KaniDay. You can also find me at KRWBY Productions and Dr. Crafty on YouTube, where I help with writing and voice acting and stuff. And of course, you can follow us all on our Patreon and our beautiful KRWBY Discord server at KRWBY Productions. Oh, and I also am a host of another podcast called The Weird Flex, but okay podcast with Jordan Jacksblade Downs. You can find him on YouTube at Jacksblade. And we have a cool podcast. You can find us at Weird Flex Pod on the Twitter and Patreon, Weird Flex But Okay Podcast. And yeah, you can find us here at Perpetually Ajar, where we made a podcast. Quick, Annika, say something funny.
I'm not a very funny person. What do I say?
Five-star grilled cheese sandwiches.
5-star grilled cheese sandwiches. All right. Good night, everybody. Good morning. Good afternoon. Whatever time of day it is, you're valid.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.